Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. I appreciate you taking time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciated, so thank you in advance. Today's episode, we're going into a genre we haven't talked any about. Well, we got a few things in that area, so we need to go ahead and start doing that. So I want to talk about some MOBAs, and I want to start with one you may have heard of called Smite. Now, for those who don't know about Smite, it is a over-the-shoulder as opposed to isometric like most of the MOBAs, at least the popular ones are, right? So this one is like third person. You can see your character from that ground level, which changes it a lot. And it's one of the games that let me use a controller that makes me feel happy because I'm not good with mouse and keyboard, even though I'm probably not good with controller on this game. But either way, right, you play all these different gods that represent all these different religious and beliefs and things like that, which is really cool because you get to see all these different cultures represented in one place, as opposed to a lot of games where they have to make up all of their lore. This kind of has built-in lore and possibilities, so I always thought that was cool. Now, I'm more of a mage and hunter type player. I don't like to be up in the fray because I get confused and it's too much happening and too much I have to manage, so I try to stay in the back a little bit. So I play with a lot of mages and things like that. So some of my favorites will be like Kukulkan, Alpuak, and Baron Samedi. I like some of the hunters like Zibalanke. But there's all a bunch of different characters. But what's been cool about Smite is they've had a lot of crossovers, and that's always kind of kept the game, interesting to me in a different way, just from a visual standpoint. One of the coolest things on here is they had a Ninja Turtles crossover. And if you know me, I like turtles, and that's pretty much that sealed the deal. But besides that, the actual gameplay, I'm a big fan of the arena mode, just because I've done the traditional 3-lane MOBA type deal, and I get burned out, and it's mentally taxing in a way that I can't afford to do on a regular basis. But arena, I could just jump in here and have a ball. So that's what I kind of do. You got to push the other people's lane in, and you get your minions inside their portal and things like that, and I get to throw around all kind of crazy stuff. And as you can see, I'm trying to do my thing, but also I don't want to get cooked like I normally do, so I'm trying to stay in the back more so than ever. But the cool thing about this mode is it's not that serious. So even if I have a bad game and I'm getting rolled over, the next game might not be too bad. We could try again. And they're usually quicker than the standard gameplay. So like these are 10 to 15, 20 minutes on the long end, as opposed to like you got to at least dedicate a half an hour to a standard match. So but this is a game that I play with a bunch of different people, and we've had some really close battles, and we've galvanized the team and things like that when it gets tight and somebody makes a play and you like good stuff. And there's also been like, what's happening, guys? And it might be me, and I'll just be real quiet. So if you ever play a MOBA with me and wonder why I'm not saying nothing, I'm getting worked. I'd rather not bring attention to myself when those things happen. But I really like Smite. I like the controls. I like how there's a certain level of familiarity with most characters as far as the basic movements, but then the learning curve is definitely there. So if you want to put a lot of time in and become really skilled at what you do, or even just all the champions in there, all the gods in this case, you can. But at the same time, if you're just looking to have a good time and you don't need to really think, and most MOBAs are free to play like Smite, you can invest as much as you want to in these type of games without having to put forth a $60 commitment, which is a lot of money for a lot of people. And usually the barrier entry resource wise on these games like Smite isn't as high as some of the other AAA games. So you don't need the best computer. And then with Smite's case, they put it on the consoles, which is even better because that means I could play it from the comfort of my TV and console. And things just work a lot better for me personally. And I appreciate the fact that we're not making these things to be platform exclusive as much as it used to be. Like strategy games for a long time, at least if you wanted to get the full version of games, you'd have to go through the PC. But now, things are being able to be made for both sides. And the only thing about Smite is the assassin's characters can really carry a match. And what I mean is, again, I play mages and hunters, and they pretty much just dominate me. So, that's probably my only gripe, but it's just because I get killed and I get mad that I got killed. And I'm sure you all feel the same way. So if you know about Smite, you're a fan of the series, have your favorite guys that you like to play with. If I do have to play on the front line, I usually run with my boy Kabrakin. He's a cool guy. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you and your thoughts on this series as a whole, and you know, some of the things that you've enjoyed about it. Like I said, this is one of the few games where you get to play a MOBA and also use characters from Ninja Turtles, so I can run around in Shredder, you know, doing punchy kicky things. As always, I appreciate you letting me reminisce with you. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.